Imagine waking up tomorrow and suddenly you can waterbend your morning coffee into your mouth without lifting a finger. Sounds amazing, right? But here's the thing nobody talks about. If everyone could control the four elements like an avatar, our world would be absolutely chaotic and terrifying. We're not just talking about cool party tricks here. We're talking about fundamental forces of nature manipulated by 7 billion people, many of whom can't even parallel park without hitting something. So let's dive into the science of what would really happen. If humanity suddenly gained the power to bend earth, water, fire, and air, spoiler alert, it's not all flying bison and tea parties. Let's start with water bending, which sounds like the safest option until you remember the human body is roughly 60% water. If people could manipulate H2O molecules at will, we'd essentially be walking around with the ability to give each other instant aneurysms, or stop someone's heart by freezing their blood. The medical applications would be revolutionary. Sure, imagine surgeons who could manipulate blood flow during operations or remove tumors by pulling water away from cancer cells. But the weaponization potential is nightmare fuel. Every argument could turn lethal in seconds. Plus, consider the environmental chaos. People redirecting rivers for personal gain, draining lakes to water their lawns, or causing floods during road rage incidents. The water cycle would become a plaything for whoever's having a bad day. Earthbending might seem more contained, but it would turn every natural disaster up to 11. Earthquakes wouldn't just be random acts of nature anymore. They'd be potential weapons or accidents waiting to happen. Construction workers could build skyscrapers in days, which sounds great until you realize there's no quality control when someone's just mentally willing concrete into existence. Mining would become incredibly efficient, but also incredibly dangerous, as people tunnel through the earth without proper geological surveys. And let's not forget that Earth includes metals. Anyone with earthbending could theoretically rip the iron out of your blood, manipulate metal structures, or crash the global economy by creating gold and diamonds out of thin air. The entire foundation of modern infrastructure and economics would crumble faster than you can say geological instability. Now, firebending is where things get properly apocalyptic. Fire doesn't exist as a tangible element like the others. It's a chemical reaction involving rapid oxidation. So, firebenders would essentially be controlling exothermic reactions and plasma at will. The average global temperature would skyrocket because you'd have billions of people accidentally or intentionally generating heat. Climate change would accelerate at an incomprehensible rate. Wildfire seasons would be year-round catastrophes started by anyone having a heated argument or a kid throwing a tantrum. The energy crisis would be solved overnight since firebenders could generate unlimited power, but so would the potential for mass destruction. Every conflict, from bar fights to international disputes, could instantly turn into an inferno. Insurance companies would simply cease to exist. Because how do you calculate risk when anyone can spontaneously combust your property? Airbending seems peaceful and fun, until you understand the physics involved. Air pressure is what keeps our entire atmosphere stable and our bodies functioning. Someone manipulating air currents could create instant vacuums, suffocating people in seconds, or generate pressure differentials that would rupture eardrums and collapse lungs. Hurricanes and tornadoes could be weaponized or accidentally created by someone practicing their moves. Flight would be possible, which means air traffic control becomes an absolute nightmare. With millions of people zooming around unregulated, the sound barrier would be broken constantly, creating sonic booms that shatter windows and ear. Weather patterns that regulate global climate would be completely disrupted. Someone in Beijing creates a high-pressure system that accidentally causes droughts in Australia. The butterfly effect would turn into the airbender effect, where every casual manipulation of wind currents cascades into global meteorological chaos. So what's the verdict? If humans could bend the elements, we'd either achieve an unprecedented utopia of unlimited clean energy, revolutionary medicine, and effortless construction, or we'd annihilate ourselves within a week. Probably the latter. Let's be honest. The Avatar universe works because bending is relatively rare and there's a spiritual balance enforced by, well, the Avatar. In our world with 7 billion potential benders and no glowing arrow tattooed mediator to keep everyone in check, The laws of physics would become suggestions, and Murphy's Law would reign supreme. Whatever can go wrong, will go wrong, and it'll probably involve someone accidentally creating a typhoon while trying to dry their hair. Maybe it's better that we're stuck with our boring, non-bending reality, where the worst thing your neighbor can do is play loud music, not literally rain fire from the sky. Stay curious, stay safe, and maybe be grateful you can't actually bend anything except the truth on your resume.